What's up, guys? This is Genetic Minority here to bring you another Monday Night Raw review for the night of October 26th, which my little brother should be coming to barge in my room any second. I don't have to edit that part out, put up the technical difficulty music. Anyway, let's talk Raw. Raw opens up with the Authority, who comes out to talk, which means you know Raw's gonna suck. Because whenever the Authority has to come out, they kill the fun, the interestingness of whatever it is that's gonna be happening has happened, because they have to come out and talk about how great it is or how great it's going to be. But yeah, that didn't necessarily happen. But even still, they came out to kind of just they just come out to suck up heat, just because they're annoying and boring. People say they hate the segment, so of course, because they're technically heels right now, today at least, they came out to suck up some heat. But anyway, they come out, they want to hype up last night, they want to hype up tonight, and they introduce Seth Rollins, and they just jerk him off for a couple minutes, and then he goes and he jerks them off. For anyone who doesn't know, when I say jerks them off or sucks them off, if I'm referring to John Cena, they're just hyping that guy up. Like, they're just talking about him like he's so great, even though he's really not, and vice versa. So they're both just, Steph and Triple H are taking turns jerking off Seth. Seth decides he wants to jerk off Triple H and then finger bang Steph at the same time, because everyone's got to get a blast of it in their face, splash, open your mouth, girl, close your eyes. And God, that's inappropriate. And they announced that there is going to be a series of matches from all the winners of Hell in a Cell, except for Brock apparently. And somebody probably just heard my Yakuza 3 ringtone. And all the winners of last night will be having matches, and the four winners of those matches, the four winners of those matches will go on to a fatal four-way in the main event of the night to decide who's the new number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Then, of course, Mr. Cockfist, Roman Reigns, got to come out cocking his fist, because that's why I call him Cockfist. And he says he's going to win his match, win the Fatal 4, and then win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So basically, he came down the ring to spoil the end of the show. Yeah. Like, he just came down to give you a spoiler alert. Like, in case you didn't know, I'm Samoan John Cena. So, yeah. Which starts off the night in the first match, Roman versus Kofi. It goes exactly how you expect. Cockfist wins because he cocks his fist. Next, you get Cesaro versus Kevin Owens. They're another qualifying match. Winner goes on to the Fatal 4-Way in the main event. This was Kevin Owens and Cesaro have had matches in the past. This is an okay work match. I don't have a gripe with it. I like the two guys. The end saw Kevin Owens do that. He ducked between the ropes and kind of do that. Like, you can't attack your opponent while they're touching the ropes. For anyone who's seen wrestling and knows how the submission thing works, they grab onto the rope. That's it. You got to break a hold. So Kevin Owens basically hides between the ropes, and the ref has to pull Cesaro back because he's gonna get himself disqualified. Kevin Owens hits Cesaro with a super kick, then a pop-up powerbomb. End of story. Kevin Owens, technically, because he really didn't break a rule, gets a clean win over Cesaro. As long as this isn't a trend of Cesaro just straight up losing over and over and over, this is fine. I don't have a beef with it. You need to give Kevin Owens some. He's the IC champion so far. He's being booked. I mean, we haven't seen what's gonna happen with Alberto Del Rio. So far he's being booked the best, or he has been being booked the best since he got the Intercontinental title, and that's only been a month. So I mean, he's been being booked so far in this month and a day. He's being booked better than Seth Rollins. So, yeah, that's how that. And then he was not booked better than Cena, but people like him better. So that's a thing. Backstage, Paige is stupid. Paige is backstage and she's on the phone with, I don't know, what's that Graham show in England? I don't know. She's talking to somebody, I don't know who, and she's just being she's being a cunt, to be honest. That's pretty much it. And she's she's talking about all this stuff, that all these interviews she's gonna have after, since she came out with Charlotte and Becky to celebrate her win and the whole starting the revolution, yada yada yada. Becky's mad at this. Like, she's like, you just blew right past me and you only hugged Charlotte. Seeing as how Becky Lynch is Irish, I'm just gonna assume that the reason why she hates Paige is because Paige is British and England made up that phony Irish potato famine like 100 years ago. So she can't be mad at her. Like, if the story arc is supposed to be that Becky is mad at Paige for ignoring her, or from what it seems like Becky is mad that Paige ignored her. So it's like, that seems kind of weird. I think it's a lot more plausible to say Becky's mad about the fake Irish potato famine that England propagated, and the reason why she's mad at Paige is because Paige is British and from England. So that's the only thing that makes sense. Now, if she's mad because she's saying she doesn't trust Paige, that hasn't really been established. They basically just booked Becky Lynch to act like female Dean Ambrose, which is just say crazy things. Like, nothing she says makes sense. She's like female Brian Pillman, for anyone that knows anything about like Attitude Era wrestling. Brian Pillman was just like crazy, and that's what Dean Ambrose is supposed to be, minus the whole pulling out guns on live TV. But he just talks gibberish. Like, she's kind of like female, what's that, Gene Schnitsky. Like, she just talks nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. It's weird, and she's, for whatever reason, her character is really into puns, so that's a thing. That only would make sense if she's the one who actually attacked Natty and was like, oh, I had to break Natty's Neidhart, or like something like that. So that I don't know, but that's another thing. So that's another thing too, is that Charlotte says if Paige is the one who attacked Natty, then she's gonna pay for it, and Paige says no, I didn't do it, yada yada yada. And honestly, in the storyline, even though it makes too much sense in WWE, is the anti-logic company. If Becky did, because she felt she was being ignored by Charlotte as well, and being ignored by everyone else in the locker room, because everyone's focusing on Charlotte being champion, Nikki Bella and the rest of the team, I wish you died in the womb, with Bray and Alicia Fox and Team Bad. Like, she is really kind of getting ignored and passed over. This would be the one thing that Paige said from her quote-unquote Paige bomb that actually made any sense, which was that nobody even knows or cares about Becky Lynch. Then that would make sense why she attacked Natty. Attack Natty, make it look like it was Paige, and at the end all be all actually be teamed up with Paige to just leave Charlotte standing alone, or what would more likely happen, leave Charlotte standing side by side with Sasha Banks. Then that would make sense, and it'd be awesome. But once again, it makes too much sense, and WWE is the anti-logic company. So nevertheless, they have a match tonight. So, what's that girl's name? What's the girls' names? Team PCB. I'm not calling them PCB. They were called the Submission Sorority, and somehow PCB manages to be the dumber of the two names. The Submission Sorority is back together. I love calling them Submission Sorority because that's what WWE named them, and then when people like myself were tweeting at them that it sounded like a porno, they changed it to PCB, which just sounds stupid. Had they gone with the porno name, at least you would have got some of the more freaky fans, maybe get a follow from Pornhub or something. You know what? I'm not doing this right now. Anyway, next, we get the Submission Sorority versus Team I Wish You Died in the Womb. Team I Wish You Died in the Womb won because John Cena doesn't have any pull backstage. Nikki got the pin on Becky Lynch. The most important thing to happen from this is that after the Becky got the pin, Paige attacks Charlotte and Becky and just completely takes them out, and will probably be showing up next week to talk about how Team PCB is still together. Next, we get Alberto Del Rio versus Neville. The winner goes on to the main event, the Fatal 4-Way. Devon Del Rio are now called Mex America. They're Mexico and America are coming together as one, and apparently everyone else is an outsider. So I mean, like Cesaro, Rusev, Neville, and Burger King Barrett. Anyone who's not from, Kevin Owens technically because he's Canadian. So anyone who's not from America or Mexico is now an immigrant to Zeb and Del Rio. I think they only did this because I'm assuming that this was their plan all along. but it seems like they only did this because they were like, we need you to be a heel, but you're going to be a face for when you beat John Cena because John Cena, he's supposed to be the eternal good guy. But it's a little bit weird for them to say the Mex America stuff. He just, but it makes sense for the character. He's United States Championship. They come out with like this combination Mexican American flag, and I really think WWE should just go as far as to create a Mexican United States like a United Mexican Championship, like. Or Del Rio should unretire the European title and make it the Mexican title or the South American Championship. Like he's the United States Championship or the North American Champion and South American Champion. I think that would just be interesting. And Del Rio's being booked strong and because he's only winning with signature moves. He is not allowed to use that armbar. Like tonight he won. He beat Neville with if anyone remembers Caval or Loki, if you're into indie stuff, he do the he basically did the coup de grace, which is what they're hanging from the corner by their legs and they they get up on the top rope and stomp on their chest, and he's just not allowed to use the armbar because Asuka uses it down in NXT, and so Del Rio's got to find a new signature move. He should honestly just go with the backbreaker, but apparently it's just a signature move, which by the way he used on Neville tonight, but didn't go for the kick or the pin immediately. Like if they were like, okay, the backbreaker to kick is his finisher, I could be cool with that. But no, apparently it's whatever move he decides to use. I guess this was going to be building him as like an all-around threat. He was a mixed martial artist who has most of his wins via submission, but he does have knockout wins. I think both are from kicks. So, I don't know. But Del Rio is booked strong and he wins. He's supposed to be a heel, but the crowd likes him too much, so I don't know what they're going to do about that, but we'll see how it works out. For now, they're kind of like vaguely heels. Next week, the Dudleys and Ryback versus Rusev, Burger King Barrett, and Sheamus. I went to poop, so I don't know. Like, when this match happened, my stomach was completely about to explode. Like, so I went to the bathroom and I came back, and Bray Wyatt was on my screen. So I don't know what happened with that match, and I don't care because it's Rusev who they're burying because he decided he wanted to marry Lana and let it be up on TMZ, or let her tweet out pictures even though they're supposed to not be together according to storyline, because Rusev wanted to break kayfabe. Whoever, Rusev or Lana, wanted to break kayfabe and ruin a completely pointless and stupid feud, but still ruin it nonetheless. They're getting buried. Burger King Barrett's a waste of space, so he's just going to continue to be Burger King Barrett, and Sheamus is being booked to cash in Money in the Bank and lose, so who cares about them? And the Dudleys are the Dudleys, and Ryback is Ryback. So I went to poop, I don't know or care who won. Next, Bray Wyatt is in the ring saying that he's in his rocking chair saying that he will eventually go back to fighting Bray. Or not Bray, Roman. He wants to fight Roman again. He says, we'll have our time again, but for now, I need to revitalize myself. I need to rejuvenate myself. I need to get back what I had before. And he says that he's going to use the Undertaker's soul that he is now feasted on when they kidnapped him, and I don't know, whatever Hills Have Eyes / Last House on the Left / what's that movie? What's that? Jesus Christ, that movie. I don't know. Name a horror movie where people get kidnapped in the woods. Cabin in the Woods. Oh my god, it's gonna bother me, the name of that movie. With the chick in the woods and she kills all the guys after they attack her. I don't remember. But anyway, he kidnaps, he says he's feasting on Undertaker's soul to help, the powerful soul of the Undertaker to help revitalize him before what he does is eventually come back for Roman and then stake his claim at the top of the roster. And all I have to say to WWE is, you actually managed to put together a story arc, at least the beginning part of it, that makes sense. It makes sense. Not only does it make sense, it makes sense for Bray Wyatt to do. Okay, I can't beat Roman. I used to be this omnipotent, powerful monster. Well, I need to revitalize myself. I need to feast on the dying carcass of a phenom, a legend in The Undertaker, and become stronger, and eventually take my place at the tip top of the ladder. Now, if they did this, and roll with me, people, if they did this gimmick, he takes on The Undertaker eventually at WrestleMania, obviously. Apparently, Brock and The Undertaker are supposed to be done for the year. Like, they're done until next calendar year, so they're not coming back till after New Year's. Which, obviously, so they're done basically for the next 2 months. They're done wrestling for this year. But it seems like some of the more casual fans want to see an Elimination Chamber match. I said that Survivor Series match between Team Undertaker and the Wyatt family. But honestly, the Wyatt family only has 4 members, and right now, it doesn't feel like, nobody feels like they fit there, and you can't build that in a month, and you can't build, especially after what they did tonight, a team for Taker in a month. Who's going to team with it? Unless, people were talking about Roman and it's like, no, I don't want to see Roman and Bray again. Like he just said tonight, and what it sounds like is those two aren't going to be dealing with each other anymore. Or for a while. So let him, feast on whoever he wants. I don't care. Just feed him losers. As a matter of fact, honestly, what they should just do is have Bray beat Sheamus for the Money in the Bank briefcase, because Sheamus isn't going to do anything with it. But if you do go down the route of having Roman become champion, why not? Bray has just destroyed the Undertaker at he's kidnapped the Undertaker, stolen his soul, and then at I think Money in the no, he can't take it from Sheamus because Money in the Bank comes before WrestleMania. At least I think it does. I'm not sure what the setup for next year is. Next year's WrestleMania is in April. I think, does Money in the Bank come after that? It comes before that. It's like the pay-per-view. It's like one of the ones right before it. So the title will be gone, or the briefcase will have been used before he gets a chance to. So just have him win Money in the Bank, and then cash in and just ruin. He can be the guy to ruin Roman's night. Like, Roman he finally overcomes it all, becomes WWE World Heavyweight Champion, or is WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and Bray just comes in and just mops him. He's like, I got the soul of the Undertaker, and just calls it a day. Goes home. Bray's done for the night. He's asleep. He's resting. But anyway, Bray cuts this promo that actually makes sense, and Kane comes out a day late and $1 short, obviously, because he didn't come out yesterday to save Undertaker. But it actually, I like it better that way, because if anybody would have came out to help the Undertaker, it would have just been stupid and annoying. Like, Bray had already lost. You can't have anyone come out there and try to save him. And the most they could do is leave that person just laid out in the ring, and then have them try. And if he had did that, tonight would still make sense. But it's fine. It worked fine the way it was, and it made sense that Kane wouldn't come out because he was too busy being hurt and distraught over losing to Seth Rollins. But Kane comes out, and he's actually in the ring alone, but of course, the rest of the Wyatts are probably underneath the ring. And what's the word I'm looking for? And they attack him, and they take him too. They wait for him to get down to the ring, and then they come in and they kill him and they take him. So apparently they're feasting on Bray's soul now. Or not Bray's, Kane's soul now, which is great. I don't care. This is the perfect way to write off Kane, so you don't have to have Demon Kane doing nothing on TV. They honestly need to have a gimmick where Bray just goes around taking out. He take out Undertaker, He's took out Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry, all these older guys who are on the roster. Just have him murderize them and quote unquote steal their soul and their power, or any divine person, because he did have that confrontation with the Boogeyman. So any of those characters who are like kind of like like Gangrel, like Edge, somebody obviously Edge and Christian can't wrestle because of their injuries, but having just like Boogeyman come back. Who else was another supernatural character? Jeez, it's gonna kill me because I can't think of it off the top of my head. I don't know. Have Batista come back as what was the stupid character's name? Oh my god, what was he when he was that stupid character that used to carry the briefcase around his neck? He was just weird. I don't know. Get some other guys who played like supernatural characters. Have the Godfather come back as Papa Shango, where he did the whole voodoo thing, and have Bray beat up Hornswoggle and steal his Lucky Charm magic. I don't know. Just have Bray destroying all the mythical creatures of WWE's past. I don't know if the guy who originally played Mercer Frey, which is the character that inspired Bray Wyatt, I don't know if he's still alive. I don't know if that wrestler's still alive. But if he is, have Bray just kill him. Just kill him on like a old school Raw. As I take a sip of my liquid beverage. That'll be fun and interesting. So yeah, Bray comes out, makes sense, and he kills Kane and takes him. So awesome. Mind you, he has not hit any of these people. He not hit Undertaker or Kane with his sister Abigail. He just has the Wyatt family beat them up and then take them. So awesome. Next, we get what's that boy's name? Big E versus Dolph Ziggler. Once again, the winner becomes or goes into the Fatal 4-Way for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship #1 contendership. Dolph comes out after Big E, and Tyler Breeze comes out afterwards with Summer Rae, and she kisses his 10-inch selfie stick. I don't know what else to. She's just out there to for anyone who doesn't know or doesn't watch NXT, which is a lot of people. Tyler Breeze is, in my opinion, the fusion, and he even looks like it, the fusion of Dolph Ziggler and John Morrison, and he's a quote-unquote like pretty boy character. So he comes out with that selfie stick that's wrapped in like the faux like Hulk Hogan fur boa thing, and he holds it up and he does selfies of himself. He's kind of like Dashing Cody Rhodes mixed with Dolph Ziggler mixed with John Morrison. Like, he's just a self-obsessed pretty boy, but he looks kind of like Dolph, and he dresses kind of like John Morrison. So he's Dashing Cody Rhodes, Dolph Ziggler, and John Morrison all rolled in together. Relatively interesting guy. It was interesting to me that they brought him up on the main roster so soon, but there's stuff for him to do. This sucks for other guys who got to sit in the back, but hey, who cares? He comes out and Summer Rae's kissing on his 10-inch selfie stick that he uses to humble her, break her back and humble her. Anyone who doesn't know the break your back in 10 inches, humble you with 10 inches, that's Iron Sheik. He said something crazy on the internet one time where he was talking about beating a dude up, and then he's put him in the Cobra Clutch and break his back and make him humble with 10-inch cock, he says. But I like to say 10-inch selfie stick when I talk about Tyler Breeze. Dolph versus Big E, the match itself, though, Dolph wins. It doesn't matter. They're more building towards Tyler Breeze versus Dolph, so that's all that really mattered from that entire ordeal. But Dolph wins because you need two faces and two heels in the main event. Next, we get a couple. Jesus, I stretch out. We get a couple backstage shenanigans. It's not backstage shenanigans, but yeah, there's a couple backstage shenanigans. God, I say a lot. I should really start doing the Barack Obama. We as a people are moving forward. All right. I got an A in advanced public speaking, and I forgot. My teacher would be so mad at me for using He said deduct points every time you said One girl once said 77 times. Anyway, backstage. Jeez, I cannot think of anything like that when I have to talk and think at the same time. I'm really dumb like that. I have a college degree. The idiot fringe Dean Ambrose is giving Roman Reigns a pep talk, basically saying, last time you were about to win the championship, Seth got in the way. Last time you were about to win Money in the Bank, every time you're about to win, somebody gets in the way. Last time, Bray got in the way. This time, forget all that. It's time to go out there, fresh, clean slate, and go out and win. So that happened as I adjust my mic. Apologies. Then we get we get a promo a bit where Titus O'Neil, because Cena's dead, hopefully forever, and Samoan John Cena has to go and prepare for the main event. We get Titus O'Neil out to help spread the word about breast cancer awareness, mostly because after next week, that's it for Susan G. Komen month, because October's over. Actually, gosh, I can't look at my calendar. Please open up for me. I believe that, next week, that's it. This was the last day for the Susan G. Komen. I mean, obviously, they, of course, have Thursday night, or technically tomorrow night for SmackDown, but as we all know, SmackDown is a figment of our imaginations and does not actually exist. So, they have Wednesday on NXT if they want, but they're not going to do that because it's NXT and it actually makes sense. So, in whatever fictitious imaginative dream state where SmackDown comes on, because we all know it's not real, uh, they get to promote breast cancer for that last day. So today is the last day they get to promote for the Susan G. Coleman. They got Titus O'Neil to do it. Why they got Titus O'Neil? I'd have to assume it has something to do with myself, along with a couple other people. I know a couple other internet wrestling reviewers. Jeez, that noise is annoying. Wrestling reviewers who had a gripe with the fact that Titus O'Neil actively in his free time does just even while he's on tour, he stops in places and does charity work. Like he'll go meet kids with cancer and things like that who are fans of primetime players and things like that. I tweeted at WWE every hour or around every hour, but I tweeted them a bunch about why they only promote John Cena doing the whole going to the firehouses, doing the Make-A-Wish, but they never, ever, ever promote Titus doing his stuff. Because I see Titus's stuff via Instagram or Twitter or things like that, and it's like, oh, well, that's annoying that they don't. Why? Is it because Titus is black? And I straight up tweeted at them. I believe I did at least. Is it because Tyler's black? But of course they didn't answer. But they did put him out there tonight, so I guess I'm supposed to just be okay with that now. So I mean, it happened. So, and good for Titus. I mean, they really should be getting him some. He's a pretty he's older. That's his biggest problem. But then again, freaking R-Truth is 41, 42. So I mean, he could still do something. Titus, I believe, is 38, so he could still do a little something, something. Maybe not, obviously not be a world champion, but he get a U.S. or Intercontinental title out of there. But and maybe you get one for Darren or something. I don't know. Whenever the gay pride parade rolls, all right, that's offensive. Listen, I don't have a problem with gay people, but WWE doesn't really, they don't capitalize on stuff like that unless it's something that's trendy. And the fact that he's gay pride parade rolls around, he gets the U.S. title, changes all the red, white, and blue stripes to the different colors of the rainbow. It would be hilarious for me, but that's because I have a sick sense of humor. But so Titus shows the breast cancer survivors some love, and Susan G. Komen Foundation some love, and he's got a very commanding voice, so you do listen to him while he's talking. It's just I have no interest in this whole Susan G. Komen thing, not because I don't care about breast cancer awareness. My aunt is a breast cancer survivor, so, and she's surviving currently. It's just that in relation, like it's a weird thing for in relation to WWE, because it's a show about beating people up, and then they're doing this whole anti-bully stuff, and they had to play the promo of this anti-bully stuff with the Miz, and it's like all the Miz does is bully people and try to start fights with people all the time. So it's weird and dumb. Like, it just doesn't make any sense with a show. Like, it's not as dumb as that, obviously. The Be a Star campaign is easily the dumbest thing WWE does. They should have just stuck with the whole getting kids to read. But the breast cancer awareness, the pink rope thing kind of kills seeing the pink ropes at Hell in a Cell, like in a match where two men are bleeding, and to see pink ropes kind of kills it. But, hey, good cause. It's just a little bit out of place for there isn't really a Susan G. Komen, like they do it for football. But a lot of guys, a lot of guys who like parents, moms who had cancer. Some, of the coach, a lot of the coaches, like their wives or they themselves had some form of cancer, so they do the cancer awareness stuff, and it's obviously a big charitable organization. But for a series where literally that's all it is dudes beating each other up, dudes and women obviously beating each other up, it's a little bit out of place. But nevertheless, that's fine. And then, of course, backstage, Miz is being a wiener boy playing WWE 2K16 because I believe it drops tomorrow. And he's playing the Stone Cold Steve Austin Road to WrestleMania. I don't know what the mode is called. And he gets interrupted by, he's talking about how great he is, and then Stone Cold comes out. And thankfully, Stone Cold was here to do the same thing he did last week when he introduced Undertaker. It's like, I'm here to promote a thing. Okay, I've been on screen for 10 seconds. You don't ever have to see me again. And then we don't until the Stone Cold podcast. So cool. I follow him on Twitter and I still never see anything from him. Next. Jeez, I'm lapsing in memory. And that constantly happens as I scratch my head. We got the main event, which is the Fatal 4-Way for the number one contendership of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship between Roman Reigns, Dolph Ziggler, Alberto Del Rio, and Kevin Owens. Before the match starts, Seth comes down to sit on commentary, and of course he's a wiener the entire time, talking about how great he is, talking about how he's gonna beat whoever, he's not afraid of whoever he has to face, he wants to face Roman, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. And of course, like I said before, Roman came out earlier the night to spoil the show, and he won. Now, the match actually in and of itself was actually really good. Everyone got good offense in. Everyone looked, other than the fact that they were going up against Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns wasn't in the match, everyone else, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, and Del Rio, would look credible to win. So, suffice it to say, it was a good match. And I suspect that for the next month or so, WWE will be putting on decent shows. Like, Raw will be decent, and then after that, it will just be terrible. Like, come, November, fine. December, January, just terrible. It'll be terrible. But, yeah, so Roman Reigns comes out. He unfortunately, the one thing I didn't like about this is he pinned Kevin Owens, but he pinned Kevin Owens in a fatal 4-way. He pinned Kevin Owens clean, too, and that bothered me. Obviously, you have your Intercontinental Champion, you have your United States Champion, two guys that could be credible to win. You have Dolph Ziggler, and I get that Roman has to get the pin on a heel, and you got two technical heels as champions, as the Intercontinental in the match that are both champions. He's got to win over somebody with a little bit of name value. Can't get a win over Del Rio. We're booking Del Rio strong to make it look like it wasn't pointless to have him take the U.S. title from Cena, and on top of that, because of the whole racist comment snafu a while back, we gotta give him some love because he'll leave again, and people will want, and he'll go make a name for himself back in Mexico because he did perfectly fine, especially in Lucha Underground and whatnot. Like, he did great. So they want to keep Del Rio back. They gave him a pile of cash and the U.S. title and a clean win over Cena. And he just beats people with signature moves. So, instead of finishers, he has no finisher anymore. He just can finish people. So, obviously, that's who Roman had to pin Kevin Owens, but I'd have preferred him to pin Dolph because Dolph's a loser. And Dolph needs to continue to be a loser because he's going up against Tyler Breeze. So that when he beats Tyler Breeze, and eventually, even though it won't make any sense, when he beats Tyler Breeze, it would make sense if he was just a flat-out loser, and it's like Tyler Breeze is cocky and assuming, I'm just going to beat Dolph Ziggler because Dolph Ziggler is a loser, and then Dolph gets the win. That would be the only way it would ever make sense. But once again, too much logic for WWE. So overall, Night's Raw was better than it's been, but once again, it's kind of comparing one smell of poo to a smellier poo. Like it was fresh matches. So fresh, interesting matches for the yeah. I think every person who faced off against tonight hadn't been in a match with each other before. Most of them, except for obviously the Divas. Yeah, every match except for the Divas match, I believe, was people who hadn't faced each other in a match before. And there wasn't too many backstage segment stuff. There was some, but most of it was building. Other than the backstage bit with just to promote WWE 2K16, everything else made sense. Tonight made sense. So that's the best thing about Raw. Tonight made sense. So, Raw, I give this Raw, compared to, the past few Raws, it was, compared to the last, month and a half of Raws, it's 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, but over, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Everything made sense, especially what really bumps it up for me is that everything going on with Bray made sense. Everything he said made sense. It wasn't just gibberish and rambling because he's crazy. Everything he did made sense, and it made sense moving forward past last night. So, GG WWE, good game. You guys did it. You made it. You managed to. How come you can't do this every week? Is it hard? Is it hard? I'm just messing with WWE now. Leave a comment about how you felt about Raw. Leave a comment how you felt about me talking your ear off. No, you don't need to do all that like and whatnot. I would suggest you guys go add me or go like my page on Facebook, simply because I'll probably start putting stuff on there. It doesn't have like a lot of people who go to it consistently, so but I'm gonna start putting videos that would normally, if I put them on YouTube, would get copyright struck, like my top 10 list, on my Facebook channel. So go check that out, go like it, and then you'll start getting more content from me out there. Other than that, join me next week when Raw will probably be, although not as good as this, still better than it's been for the past month and a half. Peace.